The massive doors of the Galactic Council chamber opened with a low hum. Ambassador Jake Morrison walked through them with steady steps. His black uniform stood out against the shining walls made of crystal. Behind him, his assistant Lisa Campbell held a data tablet close to her chest. Her fingers gripped it so tight that her knuckles turned white. The chamber was bigger than any stadium on Earth. Hundreds of alien delegates filled the circular rows of seats that rose up like steps toward the high ceiling. Some delegates floated in special tanks filled with colored gas. Others sat on platforms that adjusted to their strange body shapes. A few hung from the ceiling on long strands of silk. At the center of it all sat the Overseer. The creature looked like a giant octopus made of glass. Its tentacles moved in slow, hypnotic patterns. Each tentacle had rows of glowing spots that pulsed with different colors. The colors meant different things in the Overseer's language, but Jake had learned to read them over the years. Right now, those colors spelled trouble. Jake stopped at the speaking platform. A blue light scanned him from head to toe. The platform lifted him 20 feet into the air so all the delegates could see him clearly. Lisa stayed on the ground, her tablet ready to record everything. The chamber fell silent. Even the bubbling sounds from the water tank stopped. Every eye, sensor, and detection organ focused on the Overseer. The Galactic Council has reached its decision, the Overseer announced. Its voice came from everywhere at once, translated instantly into hundreds of languages. The tentacles moved in a pattern that Jake recognized. It meant finality. No discussion. No appeal. Jake's stomach tightened, but he kept his face calm. Humanity's expansion across the galaxy has been watched with growing concern, the Overseer continued. Your species moves too fast. You take risks that endanger not just yourselves, but all civilized races. A murmur ran through the chamber. Some delegates clicked their mandibles in agreement. Others made sounds that might have been worry or fear. Your experiments with quantum tunneling technology are the final proof of your recklessness, the Overseer said. Its bioluminescent patches flared brighter. This technology tears holes in the fabric of space itself. You play with forces you do not understand, Jake wanted to argue. Humans did understand quantum tunneling. They had spent decades perfecting it. But he knew this wasn't really about the technology. This was about fear. The other races feared how quickly humans learned, how fast they spread across the stars, how they turned every challenge into an opportunity. Therefore, the Overseer raised all 8 tentacles high. The Council makes this decree. Humanity is banned from all expansion beyond your home system. You will abandon every colony, every outpost, every research station outside of Sol. You will cease all development of quantum tunneling technology. You will limit your presence to your birth world and its immediate space. The words hit Jake like physical blows. 27 colonies, 15 research stations, mining operations on a dozen moons, millions of humans living and working across the galaxy. All of it would have to be abandoned. You have 1 year to complete this withdrawal, the Overseer finished. Council observers will monitor your compliance. Any violation of this decree will result in stronger measures. Jake knew what that meant. The Council had weapons that could turn stars into weapons. They had done it before to races that threatened galactic peace. The Zephyr homeworld still burned with unnatural fire, 500 years after their rebellion. Does the human representative have anything to say? The Overseer asked. Its tone suggested the question was just a formality. Jake cleared his throat. Every word mattered now. Ambassador Jake Morrison speaking for United Earth and all human colonies. We accept the Council's judgment. We will comply with the decree. The lie came easily. He had practiced it for weeks, ever since Earth's intelligence network had warned them this was coming. A wise choice, the Overseer said. Its tentacles relaxed into a pattern that meant satisfaction. Perhaps in time, when your species has matured, you may petition to rejoin the galactic community. For now, return to your cradle and learn patience. The platform lowered Jake back to the ground. He walked out of the chamber with measured steps, Lisa following close behind. They said nothing until they reached their ship in the diplomatic Quarter. Only when the ship's hull sealed and the scrambling field activated did Jake allow himself to slump in his chair. They bought it, Lisa said, setting down her tablet. They really think we'll just pack up and go home. Jake pulled out his personal communicator. It was a small device, no bigger than his thumb. But it could reach Earth instantly using the same quantum technology the Council had just banned. He typed a short message. Decree issued as expected. Begin Phase 1. The reply came in seconds. Understood. Exodus protocol activated. Good luck, Ambassador. Jake looked out the ship's viewport at the vast Council station. Beyond it, the stars spread out in all directions. Somewhere among those points of light were the human colonies he was supposed to abandon. New Eden with its perfect blue skies. Frontier with its rich mining deposits. Haven with its floating cities. The Council thought they could put humanity back in its box. They thought humans would quietly pack up and go home like scolded children. They were wrong. Lisa was already working at her station, pulling up star charts and colony data. The evacuation ships are ready. We can start moving people immediately. Good, Jake said. Make it look real. The Council needs to see us obeying. And the quantum seeds? Jake smiled for the first time that day. Plant them deep. Every colony, every outpost. When we come back, we'll need them. Lisa nodded and bent over her console. Her fingers flew across the controls as she sent encrypted orders to every human settlement in the galaxy. Jake opened a secure channel to Earth. The face of President Emma Rodriguez appeared on his screen. She was a small woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. Behind her, he could see the Situation Room buried deep under the Rocky Mountains. How did it go? She asked. Exactly as we predicted. Full ban on expansion, 1 year to withdraw. Rodriguez nodded. General Martinez says the quantum tunneling network can be ready in 3 months. We'll need 6 months for full deployment. That gives us time to make the evacuation look convincing, Jake said. The Council will be watching closely at first. Let them watch. The President's voice was hard as steel. They want to see us retreat? We'll give them the best show in the galaxy. And when we're done, when they think they've won, she didn't need to finish, they all knew the plan. Retreat publicly, build secretly, return instantly. The Council had made one crucial mistake. They thought of space travel in terms of distance. They thought banning humans from traveling to other stars would keep humanity contained. They didn't understand that human scientists had already moved beyond thinking about distance. With quantum tunneling, there was no distance. There was only here and there, and the space between was meaningless. Jake ended the call and turned to Lisa. Send word to all colonies. Tell them to start packing. Make it visible. The Council needs to see cargo ships loading, people boarding transports, equipment being dismantled. And underneath? Lisa asked. Underneath we dig. Every quantum seed needs to be buried so deep that no scan can find it. When we activate the network, I want those seeds to bloom like flowers after rain. Lisa smiled. The Council won't know what hit them. Jake looked out at the stars again. Each point of light represented possibility. Each one could be a new home for humanity. The Council thought they could stop human expansion by making a rule, but humans had never been good at following rules. They didn't make themselves. The ship's engines hummed to life. They had work to do, a great deception to orchestrate. The Council thought this was the end of human expansion. It was just the beginning. Captain Sam Cooper stood on the bridge of the colony ship Horizon. Through the main view screen, he watched New Eden turn slowly in space. The planet looked like a blue and green marble, with white clouds swirling across its surface. It was beautiful. It was home to 2 million humans, and now he had to evacuate all of them. Captain, the last shuttle just docked, said Diana Ross, his first officer. She was a tall woman with short red hair and steady hands. That's everyone from the northern continent. Sam nodded but didn't turn away from the view. How many does that make? 1,800,000 on board. The remaining colonists are already loaded on the other ships. Diana checked her tablet. The Morning Star has 500,000. The New Hope has 400,000. The rest are spread across the smaller vessels. 2 million people forced to leave their homes. Sam's jaw tightened. Some of these colonists had been born on New Eden. They had never seen Earth. This was their world, and now the council was taking it away. "Sir, the council observer is hailing us," the communication officer announced. Sam sighed. "Put them through." The alien face appeared on a side screen. The watcher looked like a giant praying mantis made of chrome. Its multifaceted eyes reflected the bridge lights in thousands of tiny points. "Captain Cooper," the watcher said in its clicking voice, "I require confirmation that all human presence has been removed from the surface." "Confirmed," Sam replied. "Every colonist is now aboard the evacuation fleet. The surface is empty." "I will scan to verify," the watcher said. Its ship moved into a lower orbit, sending sensor beams across the planet's surface. Sam glanced at Diana. She gave a small nod. Everything was going according to plan. "Scan complete," the watcher announced after a few minutes. "No human life signs detected on the surface. You may begin your journey back to Earth." The communication ended. Sam waited until the watcher's ship moved back to its monitoring position before speaking again. "Status of the quantum beacons?" he asked quietly. Diana smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. "All 27 are buried and shielded. The deepest one is 8 miles down in the Mariana Trench. The watcher's scans can't penetrate past the first mile of rock." "Good." Sam activated the ship's intercom. "Attention all hands. Prepare for departure. Set course for Earth." The massive engines of the horizon came to life. Around them, the other ships in the evacuation fleet powered up. Together, they formed a sad parade of vessels carrying defeated humans back to their homeworld, or that's what it looked like. In reality, each ship carried more than just refugees. Hidden in shielded compartments were the components for humanity's quantum tunneling network. Scientists and engineers worked in secret labs deep within the ship's hulls. And in encrypted databases, they carried the plans for something the Council couldn't imagine. The fleet jumped into hyperspace, leaving New Eden behind. The planet spun alone in the darkness, apparently abandoned. But deep beneath its oceans and buried under its mountains, the quantum beacons waited. Each one was a seed of possibility, ready to bloom when the signal came. 3 days later, the evacuation fleet dropped out of hyperspace near Mars. The red planet had been humanity's first colony, and now it too was being abandoned. Ships already crowded the orbital space, loading the last of the Martian colonists. Sam watched from his ready room as the operation unfolded. His door chimed. "Enter," he called. Diana walked in, followed by a young man in civilian clothes. He looked nervous, but determined. "Captain, this is Dr. Alex Park," Diana said. "He's been asking to see you." Sam gestured to a chair. "What can I do for you, Doctor?" Alex sat down carefully. "I'm one of the quantum physicists working on Project Exodus. I wanted to thank you personally." "Thank me?" Sam raised an eyebrow. "For what?" "For giving us time," Alex said. "The evacuation is the perfect cover. While the Council watches us pack up and leave, we're actually building the most advanced transportation network in galactic history." Sam leaned back in his chair. "How close are we to ready?" Alex's eyes lit up with excitement. "The theoretical work is done. The quantum entanglement protocols are tested and stable. Once we plant all the beacons and activate the network, distance becomes meaningless. We can step from Earth to New Eden as easily as walking through a door." "And the Council can't detect it?" "Not until we activate it," Alex assured him. "The beacons use a completely different principle than their sensors can detect. To them, our planted beacons look like natural quantum fluctuations in the planet's core." Diana spoke up. "We've planted beacons on all abandoned colonies so far. Mars will be complete by tomorrow. That leaves 12 more systems." Sam nodded, slowly. "The Council thinks they're watching humanity retreat in defeat. They have no idea we're actually laying the groundwork for the biggest expansion in human history." "It's more than that," Alex said eagerly. "Once the network is active, we can establish new colonies instantly. No more months of travel. No more isolation. Every human world will be connected. Keep working," Sam told him. "And keep it quiet. We have 10 more months of this show to put on for the council. After Alex left, Diana remained behind. You know, what happens when we activate the network, she said. Sam nodded grimly. The council will realize we played them. They'll be furious. They might try to destroy us. They might try, Sam agreed. But by then we'll be spread across 1,000 worlds. They can't fight what they can't catch. Diana was quiet for a moment. Do you think we're doing the right thing? Sam turned to look out his window at the evacuation fleet. Hundreds of ships, each one packed with humans forced from their homes, children who would never see their birth worlds again, families torn from the lands they had worked to build. The council feared human expansion because they can't control it, he said finally. They want us to stay small, stay weak, stay manageable, but that's not who we are. He turned back to Diana. Humans were born to explore, to grow, to push boundaries. The council can ban us from space, but they can't ban us from being human. Diana smiled. So we give them exactly what they asked for. We leave. We abandon our colonies. We retreat to Earth. Her smile grew wider. And then we come back through doors they don't even know exist. Exactly. Sam stood up. Now let's finish this evacuation. The sooner we complete the withdrawal, the sooner we can begin Phase 2. Over the next 6 months, the great human evacuation continued. Colony after colony was abandoned. Mining stations were shut down. Research outposts were sealed. The council, observers watched it all with satisfaction, noting each withdrawal in their reports. The alien races of the council relaxed. The human threat was contained. The dangerous expansion was stopped. Order was restored to the galaxy. They didn't notice the careful timing of each evacuation. They didn't see the pattern in which systems were abandoned. They didn't detect the quantum beacons hidden deep beneath the surface of every world humans had touched. Ambassador Jake Morrison delivered regular reports to the council. Each one showed more progress in the withdrawal. Each one reinforced the image of humanity, accepting its fate. The evacuation of the Centauri colonies is complete, he reported in month 4. Only the outer rim settlements remain. You are ahead of schedule, the overseer noted with approval. Perhaps humans can learn wisdom after all. Jake kept his expression neutral. We understand the council's concerns. We're doing everything possible to comply fully with the decree. Behind his calm words, the greatest deception in galactic history continued. Ship by ship, world by world, humanity appeared to retreat. But with each abandoned colony, another piece of the quantum network locked into place. The council watched the empty worlds with satisfaction. The humans were gone. The threat was over. They had no idea what was coming. 6 months after the ban, Earth's solar system buzzed with activity. Ships moved between Earth and its moon like busy ants. The orbital shipyards worked day and night, their lights visible from the planet's surface. To the council observers, it looked like humanity was dismantling its fleet, breaking down the band faster than light drives as ordered. The truth was very different. Deep beneath Earth's surface, in a chamber carved from solid rock, Dr. Amy Chen stood before a massive, holographic display. The display showed a 3-dimensional map of the galaxy, with glowing points marking every world where humans had planted quantum beacons. Final systems check, she announced to her team of scientists and engineers. The chamber was 5 miles, underground, shielded by layers of lead and exotic materials that blocked all known scanning methods. Her colleague, Dr. Kevin Nash, typed rapidly on his console. All 27 primary nodes are responding. Signal strength is optimal. Quantum entanglement is stable across all connections. Amy nodded, feeling her heart race with excitement. 2 years of work had led to this moment. Show me the secondary network. The display changed, zooming out to show not just the old human colonies, but hundreds of new points scattered across unexplored space. These were the worlds humanity had secretly surveyed using tiny, undetectable probes. Worlds the Council didn't even know existed. 342 secondary nodes ready for activation, Kevin reported. Each one can support a full colony upon arrival. Amy smiled. The council wanted us to stop expanding. Instead, we're about to expand faster than any species in galactic history. Above them on Earth's surface, the Great Deception continued. In the city of Geneva, Ambassador Jake Morrison met with the council's permanent observer. The alien creature resembled a crystalline spider, its body refracting light into rainbow patterns. "Your compliance has been noted with approval," the observer said, its voice like wind chimes. "Only 3 more months remain in your grace period. We trust all human vessels will be confined to your system by then?" Jake nodded seriously. "Of course. Our last colony ship should return within the month. After that, humanity will remain within the Sol system as decreed." The observer's crystal segments clinked with satisfaction. "Excellent. The council is pleased to see humans can be reasonable after all." Jake maintained his diplomatic smile until the observer left. Then he activated his secure communicator. "Status report," he said quietly. President Emma Rodriguez's voice came through clearly. "The network is ready. We can begin Phase 3 at your signal." "Do it," Jake said. The next phase began immediately. The great evacuation ships that had been orbiting Earth started to leave, but they didn't head for colonies or exploration missions. Instead, they followed carefully planned routes that would take them past every council monitoring station. Captain Sam Cooper commanded the lead ship. In this final performance, the Horizon, now supposedly carrying dismantled FTL equipment back to Earth's moon for disposal, passed close to the council's main observation post. "Distance to observer station?" Sam asked his navigator. 2,000 kilometers in closing, sir." "Helm, maintain course. Let's give them a good look." The council observers scanned the horizon thoroughly. They saw cargo holds filled with dismantled drive components. They detected no active FTL systems. Everything appeared exactly as it should. They didn't know that the real cargo was hidden, in spaces between the ship's hull layers. Thousands of colonists in suspended animation waiting for the signal to wake. Equipment for instant colony construction. Seeds for Earth crops. Everything needed to start a new world. As the horizon passed beyond scanner range, Sam gave the order. "Initiate quantum tunnel. Destination, New Eden." The ship seemed to fold in on itself. Space twisted around it in ways that would have baffled the council's scientists. In one instant, the horizon was in Earth's solar system. In the next, it emerged above New Eden, light years away. The quantum beacon buried deep in New Eden's ocean responded to the ship's arrival. Energy flowed through hidden channels connecting to beacons on other worlds. The network was activating. On New Eden's surface, hidden doors opened in what looked like natural hillsides. Humans emerged from underground bunkers where they had been living for months. They had never left. They had simply hidden when the council came to verify the evacuation. "Welcome back, Captain," said the colony administrator, a cheerful woman named Beth Martinez. "How long until the others arrive?" Sam smiled. "They're already coming. The network is active. Across the galaxy, the same scene repeated on every abandoned human world. Ships emerged from quantum tunnels. Hidden colonists came out of their bunkers. Empty cities filled with life again. And in unexplored space on worlds the council had never catalogued, new colonies bloomed into existence. Back on Earth, Ambassador Morrison received an urgent summons to the council station. He found the chamber in chaos. Alien delegates shouted, in dozens of languages. The overseer's tentacles whipped back and forth in agitation. "What is the meaning of this deception?" the overseer demanded as soon as Jake entered. Jake spread his hands innocently. "What deception? We've followed your decree precisely. Our sensors detect massive energy signatures in all former human territories." Jake raised an eyebrow. "Former territories? But we left those worlds as ordered." "Then explain the presence of human populations on all 27 abandoned colonies." "Oh, that," Jake said calmly. "We've returned. Your decree banned us from expansion and required us to abandon our colonies. We complied completely. But the ban said nothing about returning through quantum tunneling after the evacuation was complete." The chamber fell silent. The overseer's bioluminescent patches flickered in confusion. Besides, Jake continued, your ban specifically targeted conventional FTL travel and expansion. Quantum tunneling isn't conventional. It's a completely different technology. Your own laws don't cover it. The council's legal experts huddled together, checking their records. Jake waited patiently while they realized the truth. Humanity had followed the letter of the law while completely ignoring its spirit. This is unacceptable, the overseer finally declared. You have violated the intention of our decree. Jake's expression hardened. We followed your rules exactly. If you wanted different results, you should have written better rules. He activated a holographic projector. The image showed the galaxy, but now hundreds of new human colonies appeared on the map. While you watched our old worlds, we've established settlements throughout unexplored space. The quantum network connects them all. Distance is now irrelevant. To humanity. The smaller alien races in the council began to murmur with interest. Many of them had always resented the council's restrictions on expansion. Seeing humanity break free so dramatically gave them ideas. You must cease this expansion immediately, the overseer commanded. Jake shook his head. I'm afraid that's impossible. The quantum network is self-sustaining. It draws power from the quantum vacuum itself. Even if we wanted to shut it down, we couldn't. That was a lie, but a convincing one. The network could be deactivated, but humanity had no intention of doing so. Then we will force you to comply, the overseer threatened. How? Jake asked simply. Your weapons are designed to fight ships that travel in normal space. Our colonies can evacuate through quantum tunnels faster than you can target them. Your monitors can't detect quantum signatures. Your technology is already obsolete. The fundamental truth struck the council like a physical blow. In trying to contain humanity, they had forced humans to evolve beyond their control. The primitive species they had tried to cage had transcended the cage entirely. On Earth, President Rodriguez watched the feed from the council chambers. She turned to General Paul Martinez. Are all colonies secure? Yes, ma'am. Every world is connected to the network. We can evacuate any colony in seconds if threatened. We can also reinforce any position instantly. She nodded with satisfaction. And the offer? Ready to transmit on your order. Rodriguez smiled. Send it. Let's see if the galaxy is ready for change. The plan was entering its final phase. Humanity had not just escaped the council's ban. They had made it irrelevant. Now came the real challenge, reshaping the galaxy itself. 2 years passed after the quantum network activated. The galaxy had changed forever, though the council still refused to accept this new reality. In the crystalline chamber where the council met, the atmosphere crackled with tension. The overseer's tentacles moved in sharp, angry patterns as it reviewed the latest reports. Detection officer, report on the anomalies, the overseer commanded. A small alien that looked like a floating jellyfish spoke up. Its transparent body pulsed with nervous energy. We're detecting massive energy signatures across all former human territories. But it's worse than that. We're also finding human colonies in regions we've never mapped. The main display lit up with thousands of data points. Red markers showed the original 27 colonies that humans had supposedly abandoned. But now blue markers appeared everywhere. Hundreds of them spreading like a virus across the star map. Show me the energy readings, the overseer ordered. The display changed to show wave patterns that made no sense to the council's scientists. The energy signatures were unlike anything in their databases. Where normal, faster-than-light drives created ripples in space, these readings showed space literally folding in on itself. Ambassador Jake Morrison entered the chamber with confident steps. This time, he didn't wait to be called to the speaking platform. He walked directly to the center of the room. You wanted an explanation? He said, his voice carrying to every corner of the chamber. I'll give you one. The holographic projector he carried created a new display. It showed the entire galaxy as a web of glowing lines connecting hundreds of points. This is humanity's quantum network, Jake announced. Every line represents an instant connection between worlds. No travel. Time. No distance. Step into a portal on Earth. Step out on a planet 1,000 light-years away. The chamber erupted in shocked voices. The smaller races pressed forward, fascinated. The larger council members drew back in alarm. The overseer's patches flared bright red. This is impossible. The laws of physics— Your understanding of physics is outdated, Jake interrupted. While you banned us from conventional space travel, we discovered something better. Quantum tunneling doesn't move through space. It connects points directly, ignoring the space between. He touched the display, zooming in on New Eden. You thought this colony was empty, but watch this. A video feed appeared, showing the planet's surface. Cities that the council had verified as abandoned now teemed with life. Farms spread across the valleys. Ships launched from busy spaceports. We never left, Jake explained. We just went underground when your observers came. Every colony you thought we abandoned has been growing stronger for 2 years. The overseer's tentacles writhed in fury. You lied to us. Jake's expression didn't change. We followed your rules exactly. You required us to evacuate all colonies. We did. You scanned and found them empty. Then we returned using technology your band didn't cover. He changed the display again. Now it showed ships emerging from quantum portals, colonies appearing on virgin worlds, and trade routes connecting human settlements across impossible distances. But here's the real news, Jake continued. We're not keeping this technology to ourselves. We're offering it to everyone. The chamber fell silent. Every alien delegate stared at Jake in shock. Any species that wants quantum tunneling technology can have it, he declared. Free. No restrictions. No council oversight required. The smaller races began chittering, clicking, and buzzing with excitement. Many of them came from species limited to a few worlds, unable to expand because of council regulations. Suddenly, the entire galaxy was within their reach. You cannot do this, the overseer roared. The council forbids. The council's time is over, Jake said quietly, but his words cut through the noise like a blade. You ruled through control of space travel. That control is gone. Any species can now spread across the galaxy as easily as walking through a door. To demonstrate, he activated a small device on his wrist. A shimmering portal opened beside him. Through it, the delegates could see President Emma Rodriguez sitting in her office on Earth. Hello, council members, she said calmly. As you can see, distance means nothing to us now. We can be anywhere, anytime, and soon so can everyone else. The portal closed. Jake faced the assembled delegates. The galaxy is entering a new age, the quantum age. You can try to fight it, but you'll lose. Technology always wins over restriction. Ambassador Morrison wasn't finished. He pulled up a new display showing dozens of smaller alien races. These species have already accepted our offer. The Rillan, the Nex, the Vortanian, they're building quantum networks as we speak. The mentioned species representative stood up proudly. A Rillan diplomat looking like a colorful bird with 4 wings spoke first. The council kept us confined to 3 worlds for centuries. Now we have colonies on 50 planets. More voices joined in. Species that had been held back, limited, controlled, all of them were breaking free. The council's power had always come from being the gatekeepers of interstellar travel. Now the gates were gone. The overseer turned its many eyes on Jake. You've destroyed the order we spent millennia building. We've created something better, Jake replied. The old order was based on control and limitation. The new order is based on connection and possibility. He gestured to the star map. Look at what humanity has achieved in just 2 years. Over 300 colonies, trade networks spanning the galaxy, scientific discoveries accelerating beyond anything you imagined. And we're just getting started. Admiral Grace Walker appeared via quantum projection beside Jake. Her uniform bore the insignia of humanity's new quantum fleet. Council members, she said formally, I'm here to announce that humanity's defense network is fully operational. Any attack on human colonies or our allies will be met with instant response. We can move entire fleets through quantum space faster. Then you can power up weapons. The military implications hit the Council hard. Their massive dreadnoughts, their planetary siege weapons, their proud battle fleets, all of them were designed to fight enemies that traveled in normal space. Against quantum-enabled forces, they were almost useless. But we prefer peace, Admiral Walker continued. Join us in this new age. Connect your worlds to the quantum network. Share in the prosperity that instant travel brings. Jake stepped forward again. The choice is yours. Fight a change you can't stop or embrace it and thrive. But understand, this humanity is no longer asking for permission. We're no longer accepting limits. We've moved beyond your rules. The Overseer's tentacles drooped in defeat. Around the chamber, the council members argued among themselves. Some wanted to fight. Others saw the futility of resistance. Many were already calculating how to benefit from the new reality. You've won this round, the Overseer finally said. But there will be consequences. No, Jake cut in. There will be opportunities. The quantum network doesn't just connect places, it connects species, cultures, ideas. The renaissance you've tried to prevent is happening anyway. He walked toward the exit, then paused. Oh, and one more thing. We've detected signals from outside our galaxy, other civilizations possibly more advanced than any of us. With the quantum network, we can reach them. Humanity plans to make contact within the year. The bomb of that announcement left the council, reeling. Not only had humans broken free of their control, they were about to drag the entire galaxy into contact with unknown alien powers. Jake left the chamber with measured steps. Behind him, the old order crumbled, as species after species announced their intention to join the quantum network. The galaxy would never be the same. The age of control was ending. The age of connection had begun. The council chambers erupted in chaos as Jake Morrison's final words sank in. Delegates shouted in 100 different languages. Some demanded immediate action against humanity. Others called for their own access to the quantum network. The careful order that had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years crumbled in minutes. Admiral Grace Walker materialized in the center of the chamber through quantum projection. Her appearance was so sudden that several delegates jumped back in alarm. Council members, she said, her voice cutting through the noise, I bring an offer from United Earth. We will share quantum tunneling technology with every species. The only requirement is peace. The shouting stopped. Every eye, sensor, and detection organ focused on her. No more restricted zones. No more banned technologies. No more limits on expansion. Grace spoke clearly, making sure everyone understood. Any species that wants to join the quantum network is welcome. Even you. She looked directly at the Overseer. The Overseer's tentacles coiled in what might have been surprise or outrage. You would share this power with those who tried to contain you? Yes, Grace said simply. Because we're not like you. We don't believe in controlling others. We believe in lifting everyone up. She waved her hand, and a new hologram appeared. It showed trade routes connecting hundreds of worlds. Ships loaded with food traveled to hungry planets. Medical supplies reached colonies fighting disease. Scientists from different species worked together in floating laboratories. This is what the quantum network makes possible, Grace explained. Instant help for any world in crisis. Immediate sharing of knowledge and resources. No more isolated colonies dying because help is months away. The smaller species began to murmur with excitement. A delegate from the Theran Commonwealth, a race of small furry creatures, stood up. When can we begin integration with your network? Immediately, Grace replied. Our engineers are standing by. More delegates joined, and species that had suffered under council restrictions saw their chance for freedom. Within minutes, dozens of races had pledged to join the quantum network. The Overseer watched its alliance dissolve. You're destroying everything we built, it said, but its voice had lost its commanding tone. No, Grace corrected. We're building something better. Your system was based on fear and control. Ours is based on cooperation and growth. She turned to address the entire chamber. The galaxy is vast. There's room for every species to thrive. Why fight over scraps when we can share? Abundance? President Emma Rodriguez appeared beside Grace through another quantum portal. She carried a data pad that glowed with scrolling text. "I'm reading the names of every species that has joined our network in the last hour," she announced. "The Vortanians, the Theron, the Hydari, the Nixari." The list went on and on. Each name represented a species breaking free from council control. Each one was building quantum portals, establishing new colonies, reaching for stars they had only dreamed about before. The council's ruling members huddled together, whispering urgently. The overseer's patches flickered through a spectrum of colors as it communicated silently with its allies. Finally, the overseer spoke. "The council will consider your proposal." Jake Morrison stepped forward again. "While you consider, the galaxy is moving forward without you. Every hour you delay, more species join us. Your choice isn't whether to accept change, it's whether to be part of shaping it." On Earth, Dr. Amy Chen watched the council feed from her underground laboratory. Her team of scientists worked around her, monitoring the quantum network's expansion. "Network growth is exponential," Kevin Nash reported. "Every new species that joins adds their technical knowledge to the pool. We're seeing improvements we never imagined." Amy smiled. "Show me the extragalactic probe data." The main screen shifted to display deep space telemetry. Beyond the edge of their galaxy, automated probes equipped with quantum beacons searched for signs of alien intelligence. "Contact in approximately 7 months," Kevin calculated. "Maybe sooner if the network keeps improving." Amy felt a thrill of anticipation. First contact with civilizations from another galaxy. It was the dream that had driven humanity to the stars in the first place. Back in the council chambers, the debate raged on, but the outcome was already clear. Too many species had joined humanity's network. The old power structure was broken, beyond repair. A delegate from the machine intelligence known as the Collective spoke with a voice like grinding gears. "The Collective has analyzed all options. We choose progress. We join the quantum network." This announcement sent shockwaves through the chamber. The Collective had been one of the Council's strongest supporters. Their defection meant the end of any serious resistance. The Overseer's tentacles sagged in defeat. "It seems we have no choice." "You always have a choice," Jake said gently. "You can lead this transformation, or you can be swept along by it. But it's happening either way." President Rodriguez stepped forward with a formal document. "This is the Charter of the Quantum Alliance. It guarantees free movement, free trade, and free exchange of knowledge for all member species. No restrictions. No banned technologies. No limits on growth except those imposed by ethics and mutual respect." One by one, species representatives came forward to sign. Even some of the Council's core members broke ranks, seeing the inevitable. Finally, only the Overseer remained. The ancient being that had controlled galactic civilization for millennia faced its moment of decision. "If we sign," it asked slowly, "what becomes of the Council?" "The Council can evolve," Jake suggested. "Instead of controlling expansion, you could coordinate it. Instead of limiting technology, you could help share it safely. There's still a place for wisdom and experience in this new galaxy." The Overseer extended a tentacle and pressed it against the document. The biosignature glowed briefly, then faded. The Council had officially joined the Quantum Alliance. Cheers erupted from the smaller species. Even some of the larger races showed signs of relief. The transition was complete. The old order had given way to the new. 6 months later, Captain Sam Cooper stood on the bridge of the horizon as it approached the edge of their galaxy. The ship had been completely rebuilt with quantum technology. It could now jump anywhere in the galaxy instantly, but this mission required going beyond. "Probe telemetry coming in," Diana Ross reported. "We've got confirmed signals from the Andromeda Galaxy. Definitely artificial. Definitely intelligent." Sam felt his heartbeat quicken. "Prepare the quantum beacon for intergalactic deployment." Through the view screen, the vast emptiness between galaxies stretched out before them. But it wasn't really empty and it wasn't really vast. Not anymore. With quantum tunneling, even the space between galaxies was just another step to take. "Beacon deployed," Diana announced. "Connection established," We have a stable portal to Andromeda. Sam opened a channel to Earth. President Rodriguez appeared on the screen along with representatives from every species in the Quantum Alliance. We're ready to make contact, Sam reported. Rodriguez nodded. You have the full authority of the Alliance. Make history, Captain. Sam turned to his crew, humans and aliens working together, united by shared purpose. All stations, prepare for first contact. Let's show the universe what our galaxy can do, together. The Horizon entered the quantum portal carrying the hopes and dreams of 1,000 species. Behind them, the galaxy watched through quantum links, everyone connected, everyone part of this moment. The Council had tried to cage humanity to protect the galaxy. Instead, they had forced humans to evolve beyond cages entirely. Now, as the Horizon emerged in a new galaxy, it carried a message of unity and possibility. The age of limits was over. The age of infinite possibility had begun. And somewhere in the quantum network's archives, the Council's original ban on humanity became a historical curiosity, a reminder that trying to contain human ambition only made it grow stronger. The stars were no longer the limit. They were just the beginning.